Hey, Cameron Fields here. Now, listen, I'm really excited because today I was going through a lot of my old videos, cleaning up my computer, and I came across this video I did years ago. But I said I have to share this with my list because it's so powerful. Actually, I guarantee if you watch this video, okay, I give you guys exactly how to be successful in your business, no matter what business you're doing. All right, because listen, my goal for you in 2017 is to make you a better marketer. All right, so check out this video. It's a little old, the audio is a little crappy, but the message is solid. All right, so check this video out. All right.
This is Cameron here, and I'm doing this video because I've been getting a lot of people asking me about, scaling up their business, growing their business, taking their business to the next income level. And in this video, I'm going to share with you a secret, right? I'm going to share with you, what all these leaders are doing, what all these quote-unquote gurus are doing to build their business, right? And guys, really, guys, it's just shifting your focus from one thing to another. So by the end of this video, you would have a clear understanding on what you need to do to basically move your business from where it is today to the next level, okay? And I'm going to start off by talking about, building your distribution network, okay? And, a lot of you guys probably never heard of that term before, but basically what a distribution network is a platform that you actually build to congregate, to gather your target market so that you can communicate, so you can send messages to them. And I'll explain that in a minute. But this is what you need to focus on. And I got it here, this DN for short, but distribution network. This is so important. This is key to building up your business. The bigger your distribution network is, the more money you're going to make. And I'll show you that in just a minute. But here's where a lot of people get it wrong. A lot of network marketers, 99% of network marketers who are struggles because they don't have a distribution network, because they're too busy trying to build up their business opportunity, right? They're going around, they're talking to their families and friends, they're approaching strangers. They're doing it all wrong because they're leading with their business opportunity, right? And I teach this in my training about the difference between marketing and selling, right? And I'll share that with you right now. Selling is all about my business opportunity. It's all about what I offering, the product, the features of the product, the comp plan. It's all about me, really, because I'm telling you how great this is so that you can buy it so I can get paid. This is leading with your business opportunity. That's the wrong thing to do. What you want to do, guys, is you want to build a distribution network. Okay, and how you build a distribution network is you give value and you attract people by understanding, number one, who's your market, right? When you understand who's your market, being very specific about who's your market, then all you need to do is find out the void, find out the desires, find out what that market really, really wants, what keeps that market up late at night tossing and turning. When you find that out, you will start to attract people to start to come into your distribution network, right? And it'll just be, tons and tons of people just coming into your distribution network. And the bigger your distribution network that you have, okay, the bigger your distribution network, the more money you're going to make. Because if you was to lead with a business opportunity, you're not going to get that many people interested, right? And the key thing is, right, and they always tell you this, is the more exposure you get, right, the more people you talk to, the more successful you are, right? So just think about, just imagine having, 100 people a day, coming into your distribution network by giving value. Now, I'm not going to really get into how to give value and all that stuff because that's in a whole nother training, a whole nother lesson, guys. But what I really want to share with you is building your distribution network. And if you really think about it, right, like Oprah, for an example, when she had her show, she had a huge distribution network, right? Because if you went on an Oprah show and you wrote a book or you have some kind of product that she said, and she turned to her audience and she said, I love this product that such and such has. You're instant success. Why? Because she has a well-established distribution network. Same thing with the Shark Tank. The Shark Tank is a show, I think it's on NBC or ABC, I can't really remember, but it's a group of investors that that sit and actually see people or watch people present their business to them. And like for example, take Damon. Damon, is the guy who created FUBU, and he's basically a mogul in the clothing industry. So if you came on to the Shark Tank and you had your own clothing line that was unique and he loved it, well, he would perk up because he would automatically think, I don't have to go out there and find buyers. I already have a distribution network that I could just plug my product, or your product, should I say, inside that distribution network. So the bigger your distribution network, guys, and you really should be focusing on building that, the more money you're going to make, because you would never have a problem communicating and talking to people. This is why, like some of the leaders that you're probably associated with in some of your programs, they have conference calls, right? And they kind of do it the old-fashioned way, where they tell their leaders to call their team to get on Thursday night call or Wednesday night call or whatever, so that the leader can tell everyone about this new opportunity. Well, that's the same thing. That's the same concept. They have a built-in distribution network. But see, how I can show you guys, and see the thing, this is my passion. I love this stuff, so I can talk about it all day. I'm trying to keep this really short, but if you have, if you do it right, you can automate all this. You don't have to waste your time calling people on the phone and all that stuff. You can automate this and have it just work for you while you're asleep, while you're doing something else. If you have a job while you're at work, you can be making money while you are physically working, right? So this is the key, is building a distribution network. Now, how do you build a distribution network? Well, there's some things that you need to have, and I see a lot of you guys not having these tools. And every time I talk to you guys, I ask you guys, I'll say, do you have a capture page? Do you have an autoresponder? And first thing is, no, I don't. And guys, I'm telling you, you really want to have your own capture page and autoresponder. And I'm not talking about a capture page that the company gives you. None of that. That's not going to work. And I'm not talking about autoresponders that the company automatically sends messages that's already written for you. That's not going to work. But having a capture page, right, to where you control the content, you can basically, and I'll show this with you guys, and because I'm working on something that's really powerful, and that's something that's going to help you guys build your business, and I'm going to give you the training as well. We'll talk about that a little later. But having a capture page to where you can drive traffic in, and they can basically, you gather their email address, right? Because you want to basically get their email address, and the reason why you want to get their email address is because you can communicate with them. And you can, as you have your distribution network of people, right? The key thing is to build a relationship with these people, to get the trust of these people. The only way you can be able to do that is so that you communicate on a constant basis. And the only way you can communicate with them, number one, is to have a capture page so you can get their email address at least, right? And when you get their email address, then the second tool you need is an autoresponder, right? You need an autoresponder to be able to send out automatic messages to your distribution network so that they can receive these messages. Now, these messages that you're going to be sending out, and it's going to be value. It's going to be something that helps them. See, what a lot of marketers do who's over here building their business opportunity, they're not thinking about the actual prospect. They're thinking about them, right? They're thinking about, how can I sell something to earn $1, right? That's not what it's all about, guys. It's all about basically giving value, how to help someone, get from where they are, right? So for an example, I like to use this illustration. What we do as marketers, right? This is a bridge here, right? This is where your market is stuck, and this is their destination, but there's a void here, right? There's no way for them to get to one side to the other. So your job as a marketer, right, is to basically bridge that gap, right? Create something. If they have, like I said, if you find out what their problem is, right, what their desire is, and you provide a solution, you will bridge that gap, right? And people will start to flock to you and help you build your distribution network bigger and bigger and bigger. It's really that simple. So, guys, you don't want to focus on your business opportunity. That will come. Trust me. That will come. The first thing you should do is focus on, how can I build up my distribution network to where I have people constantly coming in. I'm constantly building this distribution network so that I can, build a relationship with all these people, and my distribution network is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and before you know it, you have 10, 20, 30,000 people in your distribution network, and trust me, when that happens, game over. And trust me when I tell you guys, I guarantee you, if you do this here, you will never struggle, because you would have an endless amount of people who you're communicating with, because you have a capture page, right? And then you have an autoresponder, right? You have your autoresponder over here that you're communicating with this network on an ongoing basis, right? And guys, this is pretty much the gist of it, right? This is pretty much, guys, where you need to focus, right? And I'm going to show you guys this. I'm going to show you guys all that. I'm going to show you guys how to get a capture page. I'm going to show you guys how to get an autoresponder and how to, communicate and what kind of messages and everything that you need to basically be sending out to this, to build up your distribution network. So therefore, you can pitch them on your business opportunity. Because one thing too, and I forgot to mention this, just think of it like this. If we met, let's say, I bumped into you, or, somewhere, right, and we exchanged information, and, and you called me, and we talked once a week, right? How close are we going to get? Not that close. But if we talk every day or every other day, right, then we become best of friends. And so that's the same thing with this. You want to basically set up your system so that you're giving value to your market so that they can trust you. So now it's more or less you're like a friend to them. They see you because subconsciously they're getting to know you by the amount of times you communicate with them. So the more you communicate with them, the more they start to trust you. So now when you present your business opportunity, it's like a friend presenting something, right? It's like your best friend calling you up and say, hey, you know what, take a look at this. Or, hey guys, I'm having a webinar on Wednesday, and I would like for you guys to attend this webinar. They would show up. Your show-up rate will be much higher than if you talk to a stranger just off the, the first communication is, hey, I want you to come to a webinar. People will if the message meets the market. If they feel as though it's a value, they will, right? But you have a better chance having your own distribution network of people who you are building trust with and building value with. So this is the key, guys, and I can help you with this. Now, what I'm working on, guys, I'm working on something that's really powerful.